Upon witnessing this, Xiao Hong turned his face away and said, "Master, I have long since abstained from eating. I no longer have any interest in the food of this world." Do you not take your master seriously? If cultivating immortality isn't like this, then what's the point of working so hard? Xiao Hong immediately said, "Sorry, master. If you insist, then I'll just eat one skewer." Hong Tianai thought disdainfully, this Yi Junlin is really an anomaly in the cultivation world. What's so good about this lousy skewer of roasted meat? As she thought this, she put the meat into her mouth. The moment the meat entered her mouth, her eyes lit up. This taste. The flavor of the meat exploded in her mouth, stimulating her taste buds. Delicious. I've never tasted such happiness in my life. As she praised it, tears unknowingly rolled down her cheeks. Yi Junlin was eating on the side, looking at her with a tired expression. What's going on? Why is she crying? Hong Tianai was overwhelmed with emotions, smiling as she recalled memories from her childhood. When I was little, I was always hungry and dreamed of having just one bite of meat. The happiness of tasting meat for the first time was indescribable. But ever since I embarked on the path of cultivation, my heart has only been set on killing and pursuing the peak of martial arts. I never cared about the simple joys of life anymore. As he said, if cultivating immortality means giving up even the simplest desires, then what is the meaning of cultivation? A huge transformation took place in Hong Tianye's thoughts, and in an instant, her aura strengthened. Junlin was stunned, looking at Xiao Hong. Ah! Another breakthrough. Nascent soul, early stage, mid-stage, late stage, peak, perfected, a single thought. To soul transformation. My God! She just ate one skewer and her talent skyrocketed. This is beyond heaven-defying. Her eyes showed surprise for a moment before returning to calmness. After experiencing so much hardship, I can't be happy over such a trivial achievement. Yi Junlin cheerfully said, Xiao Hong, congratulations on reaching the soul transformation stage. I'm truly happy for you. As your master, your cultivation is almost catching up to mine. Hong Tianai narrowed her eyes at Junlin. I never expected to break through to soul transformation so quickly. Since that's the case, this ridiculous master-disciple relationship should come to an end. Before moving on to Chapter 6, I will provide an additional chapter as a supplement. But first, I must apologize for the gender errors in Chapter 5, which I will correct in this chapter. At this moment, on the summit of Shantian Sect's ethereal misty peak, Hong Tianai, at the early nascent soul stage, was wholeheartedly massaging Yi Junlin, who was at the mid-nascent soul stage. He smiled and said, Xiao Hong, your massage skills are getting better and better. She softly replied, Thank you for your praise, master. Though she said that, the young one was actually quite angry but could do nothing about it. Yi Junlin finished eating a slice of watermelon, then suddenly stood up and said, Today is a good day. Since you've been performing well recently, I'll take you to a very interesting place. Before Hong Tianai could react, he grabbed her little head and flew off at high speed. Beside him, her eyes shone as brightly as light bulbs, filled with curiosity. Master, is this good place somewhere I can obtain a massive opportunity? Before Hong Tianai could get an answer, another young man flew over and interrupted his question. Hey! You guys are going to that place too? A mere nascent soul cultivator dares to dream big in the desolate state. This newcomer was named Qin Jiao, and his cultivation was at the perfected soul transformation stage. The young one beside Hong Tianai became even more curious about the place they were heading to. They didn't notice Yi Junlin standing to the side with a sinister grin, thinking, oh, a perfected soul transformation expert. That's a pretty good experience pack. I was just worried about my low cultivation level. After that thought, he immediately pointed his middle finger at Qin Jiao and said, "Hey, kid, the path to that place is short on servants. You can be my little follower." Hearing this, Qin Jiao's eyes widened in rage. "Do you want to die? Come and eat." Just as he launched his attack, the system immediately activated. Ding. Host has encountered an attack from a perfected soul transformation. Enemy. Now activating passive effect, becoming stronger when facing powerful opponents. Acquiring early stage integration realm cultivation. Yi Junlin instantly summoned a massive Dao shadow and struck down the cultivator in front of him with one blow, reigning supreme over heaven, earth, and humanity. This guy is actually at the integration realm. Just how much power is he still hiding? I really underestimated him. At this moment, he grabbed Hong Tianai and flew away, saying, "No time to waste, we need to leave immediately. Even if you were once the leader of the demon sect and a true immortal cultivator, no one would take you seriously." Hearing this, the young one became even more curious and asked, "What? Could it be that this place is really a secret realm of immortal opportunities for big shots?" No more curiosity. Just watch, this is the moment your eyes will truly be opened. A few seconds later, the two of them had already stepped out of the teleportation array. As soon as their heads emerged, a voice rang out, "Heroes, please take your seats quickly. The 10th anniversary conference is about to begin. Please pay attention and watch carefully." Yi Junlin confidently introduced, "This is the initial world where I and these people belong. They are the rulers of their respective worlds. Xiaohong, if you follow me, you'll learn a lot." Hong Tianai looked around at the scene, hardly believing his eyes. He sighed, although this is not some kind of fortune-seeking secret realm, it is beyond my understanding. These people are all strong, some even beyond my comprehension. Yi Junlin, you are truly unfathomable. And so, Chapter 5 ended just like that. Let's move on to Chapter 6. Yi Junlin lazily sat in his chair, smugly rubbing his shoulder, and said, "Xiaohong, you've eaten the meat and you've leveled up. Come over and give me a shoulder massage." Hong Tianya's expression suddenly changed. Her eyes rolled back, and her face turned icy cold as she muttered under her breath, "That ye bastard. I've already reached the nascent soul stage, and you still dare to boss me around?" Yi Junlin hadn't sensed the danger yet and was still grinning widely. Hong Tianya's face twisted in anger as she raised her hand to strike, "Just a mere nascent soul cultivator, go to hell." But before she could act, someone rushed in and reported, "Leaf Lord, the sect master has summoned you to the main hall for an urgent discussion." Yi Junlin immediately sat up straight and calmly responded, "Oh. It's only been a day, and he's already come back to life." After saying that, he followed the messenger, leaving Hong Tianai standing there, gritting her teeth in anger. Her hands trembled as she thought to herself, "What? Such a golden opportunity was wasted just like that. But Yi Junlin, you have too many weaknesses, I will definitely have more chances." Before leaving, he made a dramatic leap, stirring up dust and smoke, and didn't forget to remind Hong Tianai. "Xiaohong, I'm leaving now. Your massage skills are great, make sure to give me a foot rub when I get back." The more she thought about it, the angrier she became. She looked up to the sky and roared, "This is infuriating. Do you really think I'm your servant?" She gritted her teeth in rage. "I should have struck decisively just now and crushed that shameless bastard." Meanwhile, in the Xiantian sect's council hall, a large group had already gathered. Everyone was discussing anxiously, what should we do? Their faces were tense, mixed with helpless sighs. "Sigh, it seems like the heavens want to destroy Xiantian sect." Just then, Yi Junlin arrived on his cloud. Seeing him, everyone respectfully called out, "Leaf Lord." Su Yonyan and his group warmly greeted him, "Junior brother Yi, you're here." The eyes of other sect members suddenly lit up as if they had seen hope. It's the Leaf Lord. With him here, everything will be fine. Yi Junlin asked concisely, everyone, what crisis has the sect encountered this time? Why is everyone making such a big fuss? Su Yonyan's face was tense. He crossed his arms and began, Junior brother, here's the situation. A few years ago, the Wei Kingdom, which is under Xiantian sect's protection, sent a distress letter. They reported that strange incidents were occurring nationwide, and people were mysteriously dying. The deaths are bizarre, all the corpses have had their blood drained. This phenomenon is becoming more severe in the Wei Kingdom. Some cities, even those with populations exceeding 1 million, have turned into horrifying graveyards full of corpses. His voice trembled as he spoke. Su Yonyan paused for a moment before continuing his analysis. I suspect it's the work of demonic creatures. I sent a group of disciples to investigate, but none of them have returned, not a single one. The more he spoke, the more his headache intensified. He gritted his teeth in frustration. This morning, the Wei Kingdom sent another urgent report, saying the situation is dire and is now spreading to neighboring nations. If this continues, the entire arid continent could fall into chaos. Moreover, if this continues, Xiantian sect's ability to recruit disciples will plummet, and we might be headed for disaster. Hearing this, Yi Junlin was also shocked and asked, is it really this severe? Did no one notice it earlier and take action before it spread this far? Su Tieshue frowned and replied, perhaps everyone who saw it has already died. If this continues, Xiantian sect might lose its legacy and fall into decline. The arid continent is already a barren place for cultivators, where even nascent soul cultivators should have supreme control. Moreover, the Wei Kingdom is outside the arid continent. There's no way Xiantian sect shouldn't be able to handle this problem. Hearing this, Yi Junlin glanced over suspiciously. Could there be an even greater force behind all this? Just then, the system suddenly issued a mission, new mission activated, travel to the Wei Kingdom and resolve the source of the crisis. Completing the mission will grant unimaginable rewards. Hearing this, Yi Junlin happily gave a thumbs up and praised, System, you really have a keen eye. Being praised, the system blushed and pouted, not bad. Yi Junlin then turned back to Su Yonyan with a serious expression and said, Sect Master, I understand your concerns. Based on what you just described, this phenomenon started in the Wei Kingdom years ago, and now it's the most severe there. The root of the problem must be in that place. I'll go there myself. Upon hearing this, Su Yonyan responded happily, that would be best. As expected, junior brother Yi sees things clearly. If you take action, this will surely be resolved soon. As soon as he finished speaking, Yi Junlin swiftly took off on his cloud. Then I'll be off, wait for my good news. Su Yonyan tried to chase after him, but couldn't keep up. I wasn't finished talking. Su Tieshue also followed behind, sighing, the Leaf Lord truly moves like thunder and lightning. Zhao Dezhu calmly stroked his beard and asked doubtfully, can the Leaf Lord really solve this ghostly crisis? Su Tieshue crossed her arms and scolded, you blockhead. In a small place like the arid continent, even a nascent soul cultivator should be able to handle it. How could it possibly be a problem for him? Others agreed, that's right. If even he can't handle it, then the arid continent is truly doomed. Su Yonyan didn't waste any more time and immediately commanded, everyone, go train and stop thinking about anything else. Don't let junior brother Ye's efforts be in vain. Everyone responded in unison, understood. Transitioning to the eastern region of the wild continent, outside the immortal realm of the Wei Kingdom, two people were flying rapidly through the sky. Hong Tianai flew behind, feeling puzzled and thinking to himself, since returning from the meeting, why is he in such a hurry to go to a poor place like the Wei Kingdom? He was still plotting against him. Fine, I'll find an opportunity to deal with you on this journey. Soon, the two of them arrived in the eastern region of the wild continent. In the Wei Kingdom, at Peach Blossom Village, Yi Junlin stood on high ground observing and said, "It looks like bandits are robbing the village. Let's go down and take a look." Hearing this, Hong Tianai seemed annoyed and cursed in his heart. What? Even trivial matters like this concern him? Below in the village chief of Peach Blossom Village knelt and pleaded, "Heroes, our village has always been poor, only raising chickens, ducks, cattle, and sheep. Take whatever you want, but please don't harm the villagers." The bandit leader bared his teeth in a sneer, responding coldly. He said, "Humph, who said I need those livestock? What I want is you." As he spoke, he began slaughtering the innocent villagers at his feet, with their screams echoing continuously. His eyes were fierce, glowing with blood-red light, and he said, "Just die obediently, that way it won't hurt." Ha ha ha. After speaking, he laughed wildly, placing both hands in front of his chest. His subordinates hurriedly ran aside, shouting in panic, "Everyone, get out of the way. The boss is about to unleash his divine power." The bandit leader laughed loudly, waved his hands, and an intense red aura burst out, surging towards the weak villagers. Cries of despair filled the air. "Help! Please don't kill me. Mom, I'm so scared." Someone screamed in terror, "A monster! He's a monster! Who will save us?" Seeing this scene, Hong Tianai frowned and said, "Oh, such an evil technique." Yi Junlin noticed his unusual reaction and asked, "Do you recognize this technique?" Meanwhile, he thought to himself, this technique is very similar to that of an enemy from the central region, but he was already eliminated by the great sacred lands there. He then pretended to be indifferent and replied, "No, I don't know it, but it seems quite sinister." Yi Junlin frowned and asked, "Kid, what kind of attitude is that?" Inside, he was slightly worried. If it really is that enemy, this journey may be far more dangerous than expected. The innocent villagers, surrounded by the red aura, cried out in pain, "Woo-woo. I don't want to die." Finally, Yi Junlin made his move. He silently approached the bandit leader and said, "Your life ends here. Stop." The bandit leader shouted angrily, "Who are you? How dare you interrupt my fun? Are you seeking death?" As he spoke, he swung his fist fiercely at Yi Junlin. However, Yi Junlin did not react at all. He simply extended a finger, and the bandit leader's movements instantly froze. His arms suddenly exploded. The bandit leader's eyes widened in horror. He collapsed in pain at Yi Junlin's feet, who calmly reassured him, "Don't panic. We can have a proper talk." His subordinates, witnessing this scene, dared not approach, only holding their swords and shouting, "Boss! Boss!" The bandit leader, sweating profusely, stammered in fear, "Why, you're a nascent soul-level cultivator." He hurriedly begged for mercy, "Please spare me." Yi Junlin asked, "Tell me, where are you from?" Trembling, with his face covered in blood, the bandit leader bowed respectfully and answered, I was a guard of the Wei Kingdom's royal palace. But after witnessing something I shouldn't have, the prince ordered my execution. To avoid a wrongful death, I desperately fled the palace." Yi Junlin continued, "What exactly did you see? Also, where did you learn that evil technique?" The bandit leader answered truthfully, "I once saw the prince frequently sneaking into the rear mountain, but I didn't dare investigate further. As for the evil technique, I was taught it by a mysterious organization during my escape, but I know nothing about their background." Yi Junlin frowned and asked, "They just taught you the technique for no reason?" The bandit leader, flustered, said, "They only asked me to continuously use this technique to absorb others' blood essence to enhance my cultivation, and then they would teach me more. To protect myself, I had no choice but to obey. I know nothing else. Hearing this, Yi Junlin seemed to understand something and slowly said, it looks like there's a powerful